Hello and welcome to Kickoff Commentary and day number 10 of our 32 teams and 32 days series, and today we will go to team number 3 of the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens were a good team last season, won their division and made the playoffs before getting beat by the San Diego, pardon me, still gonna get that wrong I think for forever I guess, the Los Angeles Chargers in their first game. They looked a little bit outmatched in that one. Lamar Jackson didn't seem to be as prepared as he should be. The Ravens offense didn't really do much of anything until the final quarter of that game. In the offseason, the team lost talented linebacker C.J. Mosley, an unfortunate loss for a team. However, they were able to add one of the bigger prizes of free agency in Earl Thomas at free safety. This year will also mark a milestone for the Ravens, as it will be the first time in over 10 years that Joe Flacco and Terrell Suggs were not on the team's roster as we fully enter the Lamar Jackson era. As usual, the Ravens had a pretty good draft in my opinion. Marquise Brown is a great deep burner, Jalen Ferguson, Miles Boykin, Justice Hill, Ben Powers, Amon Marshall. Same as every year, the Ravens are always a team that we think of that drafts very well. There's a reason for it. John Harbaugh is still a very good coach, and he is still the team's head coach. That plays well to them. As it's time of this recording, the Ravens have beaten the Packers to get to 2-0 in the preseason. The Ravens have not lost a preseason game since 2015. They clearly take the preseason very, very seriously, and it seems to pay off for them most of the time as they're usually a playoff contender. The team starts off their schedule with two pretty gimme games, at Miami against the Dolphins and then at home against the Cardinals. The Dolphins I've made very, very clear I don't think are going to be anything to worry about this season for most teams, and it should be a win for the Ravens there, and a home game against a rookie like Kyler Murray with that talented defense should be a victory. After that, in week 3, they travel to Arrowhead against Patrick Mahomes, and I don't see the Ravens winning that one. Mahomes, if he is able to capitalize off last season into year 2, the Chiefs are going to be a really good team again this year, I think. After that, they are at home against the Cleveland Browns in a series I think they will split. I'm going to give advantage to the home team here, and so I think they're able to win that one to get out to a 3-1 record to start the season. I predict a split for them with Pittsburgh as well, so I think they will lose the road game against the Steelers, moving them down to 3-2. Come back at home and beat the Bengals to get to 4-2, then travel out to Seattle for what I think will be a loss just because the Seahawks are so hard to beat at home, putting them into their bye week at 4-3. Coming out of the bye week, they play up against the New England Patriots, and the Patriots, they match up well, I think. They always play the Ravens close, they're always a good game, but I think that Brady simply will have the edge in this one against the younger player. After this, I think Baltimore gets a win back to improve back to winning record against the Cincinnati Bengals. After that, they are at home against the Houston Texans, and I think that the Texans, if Titus Howard makes them a better outline, especially if they trade for Trent Williams, are a better team here, and I think the Texans win that one. And then another loss, I think, unfortunately, for the Ravens against the Rams on the road. The Rams are a good team. Having to play the Rams and the Chiefs on the road this year is really tough for the Ravens as far as their schedule. After that, though, I do think they will come back and beat the 49ers at home, just because in the NFL it's hard to lose 3 games in a row if you're a talented team like Baltimore is, and I think they get their win there. After this, they play against the Buffalo Bills, and I do think, once again, that the Ravens are able to get the victory here. Buffalo is a team that I think is on the rise, but the Ravens roster, I feel like, is just in a better place currently, and they're able to get another win right there. After that, I do think they will beat the New York Jets on December 12th at home. The Jets would be on a hot streak at this point, but they will be just at the end of it, and a home game for Baltimore is, I think, where the Jets finally take a loss. After this, they travel to Cleveland, and like I said, I think that's a split, so I think the Browns get their win back on that one. Before, in Week 17, they play against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think a win for the Ravens there against Pittsburgh. Overall, that puts the Ravens at 9-7. The Ravens' schedule is a very interesting one. They have a lot of games that I think you could look at and say they're probably going to be easily enough to win. Miami, I think, is a very beatable team. The Cardinals, at least early season, should be pretty easy to beat. And after that, Cincinnati twice is a team that, if the new coach could be in trouble, and Pittsburgh could be even worse than I predicted. However, they also have some really tough games on the schedule. At Rams and at Chiefs are both really difficult, and not to mention at Seahawks. Those are 3 road games they have to play that I find it very hard to believe they'll be able to win any more than one of them. But overall, I think the Ravens probably are going to be a contender to make the playoffs again this season just because they're always good, and their schedule outside of those games does lend them to have a chance. But what did the Ravens fans think? Let me know down in the comments section. I want to know more about this team from its fans. This has been day number 10 of our 32 Teams 32 Day series. I promise we will get a 2-video day out here to get us back on track. My apologies, I had some issues with uploads that have led us to this point. But with that being said, this has been Kickoff Commentary, and have a wonderful day.